Talk to me about how important this game against Saracens is, kind of for you personally, I suppose, never mind the rest of the team.
Well, obviously, yes, it's a very important game for me as well as the team. I think at this stage of the season, obviously coming towards semi-final and final times, there's obviously places up for grabs. So it's important that we all perform well in order to give ourselves the best chance.
I've just been chatting to Sean Lonsdale. It's probably a question that kind of resonates with yourself as well. Is if I'd have spoke to you this time last year and said, you'd started against Quins 3 weeks out from the playoffs, and you're in the line to play against Sarries 2 weeks from the playoffs, would you have said, I'm not quite sure about that, bearing in mind the players that are alongside you on the wings?
I don't know. Don't know what I would have said, but yeah, it's a good position to be in at this stage of the season. So I've just got to put my best foot forward come this weekend, and as do we all, as I said before.
And you look at Saracens, and we don't know what sort of squad they're going to pick, but nonetheless, it's always a challenge up there, isn't it? They're the champions. They're one of the best teams in Europe, and they have been a thorn in Exeter's side for 2 of the last 3 seasons.
Yeah, definitely. And I think we don't know what sort of team they're going to put out, but it'd be good to get a win going into the last game of the regular season, and then build up momentum into knockout rugby. So I think it's a big game for the club, just to maintain the momentum.
How tough is it when you've got a playoff place secured and you've got home semi-final secured, to go into games full tilt? And I don't mean that you're not fully committed, but you don't want to go and get yourself hurt because there's a bigger prize in a couple of weeks' time, and those sorts of things. Does that come across your mind, do you think, either consciously or subconsciously?
I don't think that can. You can't really let that come across your mind, because if you're going into a game half-hearted or thinking about something in the future, you're probably not going to get that chance in the future, and you're not going to put yourself in good stead leading into those big games. So I think it's obviously it's human to maybe let your foot off the gas, but in terms of commitment to when you're on the pitch, I don't think you can really think like that. I don't think anyone really would.
No.
I think about their welfare leading into games in the future, because if you go into something half-hearted, you're more likely to get injured. So
yeah, that's the other thing, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you look at Sarries, you look at the wealth of talent they have across the side. Is there a player or a way of playing that you admire that they do?
I just think they're very well drilled, and they stick to their system pretty well, and they can be quite ruthless. So I think it's one of those games. It's always really a game of attrition and territory, really, and almost who's not makes the most mistakes, but the least mistakes, but who's crisper and who's willing to just front up and go forward. So
and victory either against Sarries or on the final game would guarantee first place.
Yeah.
How important is it, that first place? I know obviously everyone wants the Premiership, but ending the season top of the pile, that must mean something as well. That must be important.
Yeah, definitely. I think we've got a chance to do that, and I also think we've got a chance to apparently finish with the most points ever. So obviously those little goals help to push on the team at this stage of the season. But I think it's just as I said before, it's just a momentum thing. You've got to keep those winning habits, especially coming into semi-final time. We don't want to be going into semi-final off the back of a few losses or cold. So yeah.
Fantastic.